The Coinceras channel is pleased to have you back. Dear everyone, the Brics, who are displacing the US dollar narrative, are expanding at an exponential rate. More often than not, it seems like these news outlets are merely trying to sell you something. As a result, it receives a great deal of attention. Thus, in the end, they maintain the storyline. On top of that, they attempt to contort it such that it fits their thumb. For some time now, we have been discussing this storyline and how it relates to the developments surrounding distributed ledger technology DLT and Ripple and XRP. Current events pertaining to blockchain technology, CDC stable currency, etc. Additionally, if it is relevant to this. Here's a clue: yes, it does. And it's actually quite significant. Is it really that significant that the Association of Southeast Asian Nations (ASEAN) and 10 other Asian countries are considering using their own currencies instead of the US dollar in international trade? On a more practical note, yes, I think so. On the other hand, not everyone is actually giving it a passing glance. Is it? For the most part, what we take up from these declarations is that the US dollar is dying, is being replaced, is finished, etc. Then what is the true situation now that we've established that the US dollar has taken a major tumble? Let's talk about the Brics trade. They broke the 50 billion barrier, which had never been done before. Very well. A lot has happened here. In terms of commerce, growth, and domination, the Brics are becoming more influential. In local currencies, commerce among the Brics nations has reached a record high of 50 billion. In the past year, the Brics economic community has been quite vocal about its desire to dollarize. In addition, the bloc has effectively ushered in a worldwide shift, with other nations choosing to diversify their economies and increase their gold holdings. Gold holdings are crucial in this case. Many members of the alliance have been able to assist the total elimination of the dollar from commerce as a result of these techniques. In addition, the statistics clearly shows how harmful these kinds of activities may be. More especially, during yet another enormous hit to the US dollar, Brics trade has lately hit a new record high. Now, the intriguing part is the stories that are promoted as a result of this, such as, okay, it's being replaced, the US dollar is dead, what occurs next? Keep in mind that I made this statement way back in 2023. Absolute, August of 2023 it was. Nearly a year has passed. This was breaking news at the time. The leader of South Africa has confirmed that the Brics have agreed on the expansion process, and we have agreed on the principles, standards, criteria, and processes that would govern the expansion process. All I stated was that there are major shifts underway, and people are getting swept up in the myth of de-dollarization. And the United States' demise comes to light when the true game is being played. A fundamental reorganization of the international monetary system is taking place right now. Keep in mind that the UN has stated their intention to launch a new global reserve regime in 2019 that will use a supranational currency comprised of a basket of developed nations or nation currencies. Given the number of publications discussing the dollarization of D this year, do you think it's a coincidence that a financial war is breaking out at this time? This is all part of the game. Now the reaction to the dilemma of the US dollar's demise. We are seeing the birth of a new system where digital utility assets rule, as I have said innumerable times before. Hopefully, you have been paying attention to the big picture lately. What are the Brics doing? That has always been my mental process: problem, reaction, solution. Where does America stand? Right, we'll get to that in a bit. But first, I wanted to let you know that the free Discord has just received a huge upgrade. If you want to join, you can do so right now by clicking the link in the description or in the comments. In addition to a plethora of features, That conflict has a wealth of insights. What about everyone else who is interested in giving the premium sector a shot? This section is part of the disagreement. Right now, you have 7 days to give it a go. The conflict you desire has so much potential, I swear to you. Be sorry you decided to join. There will be a link to the description and the free and premium versions below, so you can give them a go if you're interested. Join now, since it's the greatest moment to be a part of it, folks. Okay, then, let's get over here. This is the genuine article, then. This year on March 5th, the Brics nations announced their intention to develop a payment system using blockchain technology and digital currencies. An account was this. This will help it become less dependent on the US dollar as a medium of exchange. Once again, the DTD dollarization is the intriguing part of this. I mean, according to the story, they're trying to get away from the US currency by using crypto and blockchain technology. For example, while we observe this situation, correct, everything revolves around a changing financial system, which we were aware of a long time ago. It has always been obvious, but today it is crystal plain. This way. Also, in February, the head of the Financial Stability Board, which monitors the world's financial system, wrote to the group of 20 finance ministers, reiterating that tokenizing crypto assets and AI are still top priorities. The G20 has prioritized these issues. They have previously informed us of what is happening here. This is, to put it mildly, insane. So, what's the US up to? Do they intend to do nothing while this happens? On the other hand, will the US currency collapse tomorrow? So, what's happening? This is November 15th, 2022, right here. During that period, what occurred? Fair trade. Not a single soul was looking. US financial institutions begin testing a digital dollar blockchain. The Federal Reserve is collaborating with well-known financial firms to pilot a platform for digital currency. In May of this year, the Brics are currently engaging in this. This was already in use in the United States in 2022. No, they are progressing at a steady pace. No, these things aren't going to happen by themselves. Imagine if this were happening in the United States. This plant has previously been with them. Keep in mind that it was just one day following the announcement of the sanctions against Russia in March of 2022. Regarding digital currency, tokenization, and plain old Cs, we received an executive order. In addition, here in the United States, we have banking and payment industry professionals that are thrilled to be collaborating with the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's Newark Innovation Center on this proof-of-concept project. To improve the efficiency of the international monetary system and the capacity of central banks to fulfill their mandates, the New York City Federal Reserve works with both public and private organizations to develop new technologies. An immediate question arises: hasn't the Federal Reserve already stated that it has no plans to start a CBC? They have no involvement with the CFTC and have not even brought up the idea of a CBC. Yep, they'll tell you lies. This is their test run for the digital dollar blockchain, thus they are lying to you openly. These banks are really big. When you examine these banks, how can I tell if they among the most prominent players are Mellon City, HSBC, MasterCard, PNC, TD, Truist US, and Wells Fargo, among others. So, when we get down to brass tacks, it's funny that they keep telling us they have no plans involving the digital dollar. It's not the CDC that we're examining. We are not going to examine any of it. Then this happens. Oh, and this was happening in November of 2022, when everyone was preoccupied with other things. Now that we're looking at this, what else is going on? A new currency backed by gold was created by Zimbabwe. It was in April of last year. Hey, guess what? Some random ballboy has recently requested that all of the country's gold miners increase production in order to fund a new currency that is backed by gold. Real assets, not merely ideas, are intimately linked to a currency. Huh, interesting, someone could think. On January 20th, this year, Brics unveiled their gold-backed currency, ushering in a new era with Russia as chair in 2024. Here in Texas, a committee has approved a plan to establish currencies backed entirely by gold and silver reserves. This is fascinating. This happened on May 3rd of last year, and then on January 9th, we had the rise of the gold back to E1. When it comes to currencies backed by gold, this is starting to make a huge splash. In addition, it is relevant to current events in the payment industry, such as the digital dollar blockchain project with Brics, which is attempting to establish a payment system that is dependent on digital currencies and blockchain technology. Everything is happening to back up our current plan, which is to transition to a digital system backed by gold. The time has come for this to happen. It's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. All the people who have been discussing how that won't happen, I'm afraid it will fail miserably. Zimbabwe introduced their gold-backed currency, and you can bet that this is the truth we're facing. We are aware that several prominent US states are considering legislation to establish reserve-backed currencies, gold and silver, as if they were genuine. We are also aware that inflation is going to keep rising. We also know that the United States' influence will dwindle as the Brics countries become more powerful. But it's all in the name of embracing change, and the entire financial system is undergoing transformation at the moment. The video concludes with that. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Muchas gracias, depart.